Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We are going to continue our media availabilities, and we are currently joined by race-winning owner, Coach Joe Gibbs. Coach, thanks for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about what this win means to you, the organization, and to Martin as well?
Well, first of all, let me just say we love coming to Loudon. It's a huge deal for our sponsors. I hated that the rain yesterday kept us from our big hospitalities and everything that we have, but it's a big deal for us coming up here. Really appreciate it. And to be truthful, I think we have a real confidence when we come here. Our guys believe that they're going to run good. Christopher's been good here. And, you know, obviously Martin was last year. Denny has been also. We're off today. So anyway, love coming here. Appreciate the day. It means so much. Just to emphasize this. Reesers is a huge partner for us to have them on the car. Auto owners, I call Johnny Morris, Bass Pro. Nobody's a bigger race guy than Johnny. And so it's a huge deal for us and our partners.
Awesome. We'll take a few questions. For Coach, if you have one, please raise your hand and we'll get a mic to you. We'll start down here with Dan, and we'll go to Bob in the back.
Dan Gelston, the Associated. Dan Gelston.
Yeah.
Okay, it's on. There we are. Dan Gelston, Associated Press. Joe Martin has talked the last couple of weeks about he's thinking about maybe retiring at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Or coming back. What has he told you about his decision, and how soon do you need one?
Hey, I wish, hey, will you please talk to him for me? He tells me the same thing every year, that I'm right in the middle trying to make this decision. I go, come on, what are you talking about, man? You're making money, you're having fun, driving race cars, come on. But no, we haven't. I think it is, though, very important for us to kind of have some pressure here, because it's pressure for all of us. It's a huge deal for us, and I'm hoping. I really felt like he's having such I think, a great year, and I think, you know, he's having fun, and so I'm hoping that we get a good answer for us here.
We'll go to Bob.
Bob Hockers, Fox Sports. How would you assess what Martin's been able to do this year compared to what he's done for you since he joined your organization?
Yeah, I think he and James right now, you know, it's so important, that combination. And last year, we all know in this sport, you can have years where things just won't go your way. And I can't think of how many times I still got a picture of the car spinning on pit road down at Homestead and things like that happening to him. I think we were fast, certainly last year at times, but I think this year's just been totally different. I think they've kind of set their mind to have a great year. It couldn't come at a better time for us. And the Clash, amazingly enough, you know, is that winning that thing was a big confidence deal. And just appreciate NASCAR putting that track in the Coliseum, and us doing some of the things we've done this year, the road race. Obviously, it was a huge deal for us, too. And so I really appreciate everybody's hard work in NASCAR. I think they've got a good schedule for us. I think it's interesting for our fans, and I think Chicago was a big deal for us.
So did you ever think about breaking up James and Martin?
No. I think honestly, Martin has such a great ability. I'm telling you, no matter how big a mess it was, that man is as even, and never, you don't shake him up. And he has a real belief in James. And Jazzy, our engineer there, we're doing some interesting things with him. We're bringing him to the racetrack now. I think that's made a big difference, too. So I think they got a real good team. I think Martin's got a real confidence in that group.
We'll go here in the back in the right. Sorry, in the red shirt. And then right here to Terrell.
Hey, Coach Gibbs. You've been partnering with Toyota. And how has that partnership with Toyota led to such a great season so far?
Well, we've had a great partnership, and I think, you know, when it started like 16 years ago, it's been a big deal for us. And I think the biggest thing with partnerships it's, yes, everybody has fun and it's great when you're winning, but when you go through some tough times too, and we've done that with Toyota. And so I think it's a battle-tested partnership. Love the relationship we have with those guys. I called Jack from the winner's circle, and I'll talk to David tonight. And so you couldn't have better partners from an OEM standpoint.
Awesome. We'll go right here, and then we'll come to Nathan.
Terrell Cavian with New England Sports News. Coach, how do you explain the level of almost domination that you've had at both the top levels here? Putting so many cars over here in victory lane through the last 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, I think when you go to some places, you just have a lot of confidence, and I mentioned that. And I think Loudon is one of those places for us. And, our guys, I think really all 4 of them like this place. Ty's first go around here. But I think we have a real confidence. I think our crew chiefs have done a great job, too, with their setups and stuff. And so I feel real good about that. And like I said, we love coming here.
Awesome. We're going to go ahead and take one more for Coach with Nathan over here, and then we will continue questions for James.
Nathan Son with the podium finish. Coach, next week marks a year since Ty's Cup Series debut. So just over this last year, how much on-track growth have you seen from him?
Well, I think it is so hard when you step up. And so we just, we're after it with him. I think he's had 6 top 10s or so. Had some disappointments. Today was one of them. And so I think it's a learning process. It's extremely hard. And I think we've seen in the past that, even the guys that wind up being superstars, it takes a while. And so I think he's working hard at it. And I think Chris and he have a real partnership and kind of get along good, have a good chemistry. And so we've got great sponsors there. Monster, he gets us on the car. And Interstate, that's a great 3-team effort for us in sponsorship, which is great.
Awesome. Coach, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the win.
Way to go, James.
We will go ahead and continue on with questions for Crew Chief James Small. If you have one, please raise your hand, and we will get to as many as we can. We'll start here in the middle with Matthew.
Matthew Warrens with Northeast Sports News. James, I know Martin has felt that pressure. How happy are you for him that he finally got the win up here at one of his home tracks?
Yeah, it's amazing. I know what this race means to him, his family, and how close we've been before and winning this, and leading all those laps, and just something going upside down, towards the end, and they threw everything at us today, and thankfully we were able to get it and get it for the family. So yeah, just remarkable. I can't imagine how happy his dad is as well right now.
We'll go to Dustin.
Dustin Albino, JSK. James, obviously 3 wins now in the season. Perfect day today, points-wise, extending your lead. Do you guys feel like you're the championship favorite right now?
I don't know. It's very up and down. Obviously we're showing, strong pace across a variety of tracks. And it's just about executing it. And, you can do that all day and have things out of your control go wrong and take you out of it. So, take every race one at a time, every week at a time, and just try and maximize it. And we'll see if we wind up there and if we can do it. But, I feel really good about it right now.
We'll come right here to Nathan.
Nathan Son with the podium finish. James, obviously you guys are the dominant car today. Is it easier to call a race when you're kind of on offense like that, or is it tougher when you're kind of on a more defensive strategy?
It's kind of tougher, to be honest. It's your race to lose in a way. I feel like that happened to us last year, and I've thought about it every day since. So I was up last night stressing about it for ages, thinking of all the different scenarios. And once we got through, doing what we did and being slightly conservative, just taking the 4 tires and being able to get back in front. But I knew at the end, that was the only call to make, because so many people were going to do it, and we would have been buried if we had taken 4. So, it's definitely more difficult, but, thankfully it worked out for us today.
You guys were originally going to take 4 and you audibled to 2, correct?
I was more on the side of rights. I was just trying to see what the other people were going to do, and then as soon as the 22 did rights, it was a given. So they were ready, and we just needed to confirm what we're going to do. So yeah.
We're going to come here to Dustin and then go over to the back again.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. James, obviously the joke is Martin's got so many home tracks, so maybe it doesn't matter. But when I know Dover's important, but when you come here and he hasn't won, is there? You're doing the best you can every week, but is there any more realizing the significance of what a win could mean or what this place means, or because he has 15 different home tracks, it's the same thing every week?
Yeah, this really is kind of his home track. I don't know. I guess Dover might be closer, but I know how much this one means to him and his family, and the significance of him coming here when he was a young child and everything, and all of that. And it's always been one that he wanted to win. And we were talking about it. He flew home with us after Sonoma, and we were sitting back there drinking some beers on the plane. Probably shouldn't say that. And we were talking about, this is the one. We need to win this one. So hopefully he doesn't go and retire on us now that he's got it. But yeah, it's important. And, we put the same effort in every week. But, we just know that we come here and we really expect to win. And thankfully we crossed it off the list today.
How does this track come up in a conversation on the plane back from Sonoma then?
It's just races that, we really wanted to win, and races that have gotten away from us in the past. We just talk garbage back there. It's just, it's like a couple of, all of us, we're such a close-knit group, and we're just a bunch of mates going racing. That's why it's so fun. It's the most fun I've ever had in my life, racing with everybody on the 19 team. So, yeah, he loves it as well. So, yeah, we're there for him, and he's there for us every week.
So, I'm trying to remember, a couple of years ago, you guys were in control, then it went away. And, I mean, was that one of the more disheartening losses because of what happened, where it was, and things like that? Or is that something in the back of your mind, or is that something that in the past you forget about?
No, I think about all the mistakes every day. So, last year there, we dominated the race, and, we had that early caution in stage 3, and, there was a bunch of us that took rights, and, 4 Tires was back in 10th with Chase, and then Bell behind him, and we had a terrible restart and got buried. And, we had what was the dominant car that day as well, and we kind of let that one get away from us. There's so many factors, but, if I had that time back again, it's always easier when you know all the information, isn't it? So, but, and there's other races here in the past where, we've had really good cars and fallen away at the end or gotten in an accident. So, yeah, I'm just glad we crossed it off the list.
Go ahead in the back and then to Bob.
Yeah, Johnny Ankers, WSMN Radio. I just was wondering, you had such a great setup during qualifying and during practice. During the course of the race today, did you have to make any modifications much to the setup of the car, or did you leave it the way it was during those qualifications?
No, we can't help ourselves. We weren't that good in practice. As fast as we were, we weren't where we needed to be. We knew we needed to make adjustments. So yeah, we worked on it for the last few days. Still working on it this morning. And yeah, during the race we just did a few little air pressure changes, and that was it. Never had to get a wrench out or anything like that. So yeah, I think we improved what we needed to.
Go ahead, Bob.
Bob Parker's Fox Sports. Is there any extra motivation to do well so that Martin returns, or is there motivation to do well because you don't know how many more races you're going to have left with him?
No, we don't need any extra motivation. We're just here to win every week and win the championship. And what will be is what will be. We don't even talk about it with him. None of us on the team. So it's his decision, and whatever. We're happy either way, and we'll support him. So our focus is on this championship and winning that, and we'll worry about next year, come December.
He doesn't talk about it much with us either.
Yeah, I know. I heard you pissed him off.
We'll come right down here in the middle to Daryl.
Terrell Covey with Northeast Sports News. There was a lot of talk about how much wider the track seemed to be for guys today. When you see that happening from your perspective, does it make you say, do we have to do things a little different, or do you just is the proof in the pudding? You just say he's doing all right already?
Yeah, no, the proof's in the pudding, and you know, we were joking about it there after the race. Like, we can't believe where he was running, like how much grip there was up there. So obviously, that's not like what we worked around, but you got to go where the grip is, and yeah, it was crazy. So it was interesting, and those guys, they're so good. All those guys, Martin, Joey, they know how to find the grip and whatever, and we have the tools to see where everybody else is running. So if somebody suddenly starts running a faster lap time or whatever, we can, what line are they in, and kind of give him that information as well.
All right, James, that's a wrap for you.
Thank
Thanks for joining us, and congrats on the win.
Don't write anything about that beer thing, all right? Please, I'll get yelled at.
Delete.